Hey guys, welcome back to Xposed Tuesday. Today we're going to do an Xposed challenge, and the Xposed challenge is because we're going to be using multiple Xposed modules that we've covered for you guys here on Xposed Tuesday, but we're going to be putting them together using a thread that was put together by XDA recognized contributor and as well as XDA assist member V7. The thread covers the process of what you need to do, and how to get it installed and set up on your system correctly so that you can extend the battery life on your device. There's so much information here that I'm not going to be able to cover everything, but I'm going to walk you through the process today, and then we're going to check back in 1 week and see how things are going. Let's check it out. So we're starting off with an article that was posted not that long ago actually by Tomic right on the XDA portal. This is referencing a thread or a process that was put together by XDA contributor, recognized contributor Visox7. We'll go ahead and open up the thread. He goes by V7 and he is a recognized XDA assist member, so definitely very appreciated of all the work that he's been doing here. The thread is actually broken down by different areas, but the first thing that we definitely need to make sure that we have is we have to have root, we have to have Xposed framework installed and running, so update that to the latest version. We're going to need Greenify, Amplify, AppOps Xposed if you're running on anything earlier than Android Marshmallow, PowerNap, or those settings, PowerNap is definitely those settings editor or nap time, depending on which one you prefer to use. Both applications will work. And he gives us basically 6 different threads to be able to go through what we need to do. The first one is the basic thread, and we'll go through that. The first thread is simple enough and basically just says there are certain things that you need to optimize within your system to give you better battery life. The display, disable the automatic brightness, that's something that you don't really need. Set it to a certain brightness, and also make sure that if you're running on a device that has an AMOLED display, to have darker backgrounds, as that will use less battery. Cell network, the ability to switch off the LTE to 3G when you're not using it, using a smart network type of an application is something that will help you conserve battery, as the connection is a little bit slower, but in the background when your device is off, it's not necessarily as important when your device is on, and you definitely want to have that fast connection. Again, very good there. The next thing that we need to make sure that we have is Wi-Fi scanning is disabled. So depending on your system, it's generally located under Wi-Fi. It can also be located under your location services. Just make sure you have Wi-Fi scanning turned off, as well as BT scanning and Bluetooth scanning, and that way will give you the ability to save battery. So you don't see Wi-Fi sitting in the background all the time when you're looking at your battery stats. Last but not least, location services. If you don't really need it to be on high accuracy or even on battery saver, we would just say turn it off or turn it on the device only, as that would be the best, more optimistic, optimal actually, system setting to be able to get you the best battery life. That was guide number 1. If you just do this, you'll start seeing some benefits in the battery, but we can go ahead and start diving into Xposed and see what kind of gives us the ability to have much better life. This is the Xposed framework process for Greenify. You do need to have Greenify. You have to also have the Greenify Xposed mod installed and turned on, as well as the donation package to be able to use some of the benefits of Greenify. Now, we're using better battery stats here to be able to basically get a better assessment of how our battery consumption is used, and that's what he refers to as BBS here. So Greenify the apps to set up battery by running it in the background and refer it as to BBS. Check, better battery stats. The best thing to do here obviously is once you see things that are using a lot of your battery, in this situation he's recommending browser, Facebook Messenger, Google+, Hangouts, Hike, Instagram, Maps, and UC browser. And again, depending on your system usage, you may have other applications you need to actually Greenify. And he also goes through the Greenify module section where you go into the experimental section, and then you just turn on the Xposed functionalities of wake up timer, and this is the coalescing 4.4 or later, telephony wake up, don't remove notifications, block apps abuse, don't check the box for deep hibernation, go to GCM push for Greenify apps, Greenify system apps, and reveal hidden syncs. By default, this is going to be the first thing you could do to be able to kind of save some battery life here, and to make sure that things don't come back up out of hibernation. The third thread goes in and starts talking about Amplify. Now, Amplify again was another module that we here covered for you guys separately. The beauty of this process here, it's using multiple Xposed mods at the same time to kind of fill in the blanks where some are missing on the others. So in here, he gives us the parameters of some of the things that you need to do. First thing, I want to make sure you guys are aware, you do need to have the donation package to be able to actually hibernate or limit alarms as well as wake locks. So by default, the application itself only allows so much. To be able to use the full potential here, definitely make sure you get what you need. He gives us a list of what the different alarms that you're able to go in and limit, and he tells you what the value that you need to put in for him. So basically an example would be the .com, .android, .internal, telephony, .data, .stall. He's saying basically have it checked every 600 seconds as opposed to the default value. And of course under wake locks, we can just go in there and then go in. You have the wake clocks, allow every 800. As far as the weather update service, have it every 3600 seconds. You don't have to have it as often. Wake clock, as far as sync loop wallet, net scheduler, icing, wakeful, all of those things can be set to 7200, and he goes through all the way to the bottom. The only note that he does actually kind of don't use location services. That's why he's disabled certain location services based things. So if you do use location services, make sure you don't put that as part of the delay. Otherwise, you may have performance concerns. And of course, he shows us a screenshot of some of the things that he did. And he does say basically, to go in and use the limited option so you can see it in list form. But overall, a lot of the things that we're covering here are things that you can already seen. If you've used Amplify in the past, this is going to be not really news to you, but definitely something that you can consider using if you don't have the other application or the other modules. Last but not least, this is a section where it talks about PowerNap and AppOps Xposed. PowerNap is an application that I covered for you guys here recently. Also works really good, and it has basically the ability of bringing stamina mode to normal devices that are not running, such as Xperia-based devices. Now you can basically turn on endurance mode in there and then start setting certain applications to be whitelisted. Again, this is the list of the applications that he's given us. You can set different applications if you start having experience or you experience issues with them. The one thing I would definitely recommend is do not try to remove Google Play services from PowerNap whitelist, because it could break some functionalities from Google applications. Next we have is AppOps Xposed, and if you're running on Marshmallow, you do need either dose settings or nap time. AppOps Xposed is a good program that will work. Unfortunately, it does not support Android 6.0 currently in the latest version that was released. So if you're running on an early version, please follow the process here to be able to disable certain wake locks. But the other thing, as far as Marshmallow settings, you have the ability of using dose settings or nap time. Both do the exact same thing. The only thing I can say is that nap time has these features turned on by default. So these values that you'll see here are turned on by default within nap time, and dose settings enables you to edit it manually. So if you have nap time, just turn it on and make sure you have it set, and you'll notice that all these features are there for you. And the conjunction of all these systems, all these applications at the same time, will need some time to kind of settle in. So turning them on, it will not automatically, by just the virtue of doing that, it will give you better battery. Try to go through it at least a couple of cycles, and my goal here essentially is to do a challenge with you guys. I'm going to do this, set it up on my device, and we're going to come back in a week and see how we have performed and how things have gone through. For support, please check the description link below to be able to post your information and directly contact V7 on XDA to get more information. He is extremely responsive. As you guys saw with the process, there's a step-by-step instruction on what you need to do. Most of the packages that you need to have do require you to have the donation version. So if you have Greenify or Amplify, you do need to have the donation version to be able to use the full functionalities of them. PowerNap is definitely something you can download, but you need to join the Google Plus community. Again, the description gives you access to where you need to go to download all of this information. Nap time, and as far as those settings applications or those modifications can only really work with Marshmallow, Android Marshmallow or later. So if you're not on Marshmallow, you just want to use AppOps Xposed, as those will work for you. The other ones obviously require those to be able to have multiple, the full benefit running. I am running Android 6.0.1 on my Nexus 6P, so that's what I'm going to be using for my test. I applied all the settings that he walks us through them, and I'm going to basically go through for about a week and see how the battery life is going on my device. If you guys would like to participate, I think you guys should check it out. Check the link in the description below and go ahead and follow through the process. V7 is definitely very responsive. He is definitely responding and requires a lot of information from you as far as when you're getting issues so that he can help you fix it. But definitely use better battery stats if you don't, to be able to basically measure performance and see if it is going to be better for you guys. Last but not least, before you do all of this, I would recommend you doing an Android backup of your system. I'm assuming that if you have Xposed and you have root, you more than likely have a custom recovery, so you should be able to start off with that. And I say this only because we're modifying so many things within Xposed that if something does go wrong and you get into a boot loop situation, you have a way of going back to being where you need to be. So as usual, like and subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to say thanks to V7 for reaching out and letting me know about this extreme battery life thread that we're going to be able to try to test out for this 1 week and see how it works. So check back in 1 week on next Tuesday, and we'll let you guys know exactly how things have been. Did it get better? Did it get worse? Is it the same? So we'll see. Talk to you guys next time.